Hello everybody and welcome to part 12 of my playthrough of Final Fantasy II on the Pixel Remaster collection. And this will be the last part. We will wrap up the rest of the grinding for achievements here, as well as go through the last couple of dungeons. We're going to very soon hit the point of no return before we go into the next couple of dungeons. So the first thing I want to do is level up my spells and weapons to level 16, and obviously, as you know, the blood sword is the best way to do that, as I quickly demonstrated in the last episode. But we might as well travel over to Castle Deist, which is the next location we need to go to. Land right outside. We're going to head on in. So, Beastry, from where I'm at, you should be at 109 now, if you've managed to acquire everything that I have. But once we get to the next couple of areas, I will tell you what is missing and what you still need to get a hold of by that point. So inside Castle Deist, we just want to go and visit the mum and her son. If you remember where they are. And we'll talk to them about the Dragoon that we encountered and that Ricardo's gone. And you can speak to her about the Dragoons. And they're gonna leave Deist. But before they leave, they're going to reward us with Excalibur. Which, if you know, Excalibur is one of the strongest swords in the game. The downside is we already have the Blood Sword, which just is the strongest sword in this game. But it's the next best. Actually, I'm not sure if the Masamune is in this, but otherwise it's very, very good. So there we go, that's Excalibur obtained. So now we want to head to the Jade Passage. But before we go into the Jade Passage, because obviously there is the matter of getting our own stats to level 16. A spell and a weapon to level 16. We're going to proceed for doing that first. Stalactite is one of the enemies here that we can look for. If you haven't previously got this, make sure that you get it right here. Otherwise, this is one you should have had ages ago. We're just going to be power leveling my way forward with Fury himself attacking himself, so I will catch you back when I'm done with this. Okay, I realise, yeah, I should probably be casting Cure at the same time. Don't just have them defend, just so you can level up the weapon as well. But there we go. Furion didn't gain as much XP as I wanted, but we are going to make sure that we get both of these level 16 with this method. There's no best location to do this, but I prefer doing it just outside of Castle Finn or whatnot. And I do say that I didn't go that quickly. That's because I didn't turn up the stat leveling times 4 for both. Having done this now, it will start a little quicker, so you can do that yourself if you want to. Just remember what I said previously of you need to make sure you turn off double speed just before the enemy's actions finish, because you will then end up auto redirecting your attack to the enemies, which is what we want to avoid. So I'm going to head all the way back over to Finn, and we're going to grind up to level 16 on the outside of here. And obviously means we're nearby an inn if we want to heal up. So I'm going to stick doing this now, and I'll join you again back when it's finished. And I'll catch up between parts to show you how far I've progressed. So there we go, level 16 on the sword. And we should be level 16 in the magic as well, unless we're a little bit off. One key thing to note, if you level up one of your spells to level 16 outside of battle, you will not get the achievement. So technically this is missable if you manage to somehow level every spell. I suppose you can unlearn spells and then relearn them, so it's not. But considering Cure is probably the one that you're most likely to do this with, just get it as close to level 16 as possible and then just start spamming it during battle. there we go, that is cure leveled up, and that will be the level 16 for the spell. So now we're ready to go to the Jade Passage, as long as we make sure that we've got all of the bestiary encounters that we need up until this point, which I'm going to check through in a moment. So we're going to get back in the airship and head on over to the Jade Palace, which is that cavern that we saw. Jade Passage, not Palace, which is that cavern we saw in the cutscene. Now there's going to be a couple of enemies around this area that you're going to be looking for. I know I've previously fought the Salamander, but I'm going to show this off as one of the ones you can get here. This is one of the ones that you will encounter in the dungeon as well, but we're just going to have a quick run through this area and see if there's anything that we're missing, because I do believe there is one that I could pick up here that I haven't already. But yeah, you shouldn't really have any problem with these enemies now. I believe I've left stat increases on ×4 as well, but at this point in the game it's not really going to matter because we're not grinding them up, so it's just any enemy that is strong enough for us to get these stats from. We're going to level a little bit faster, but we're in the last 2 dungeons now, so it's not like we can go back into the overworld and do anything else. Hecteyes is another one of these enemies. Again, this is one that we've definitely previously fought, but you can fight in this section of the overworld. Steal our MP, but thankfully it goes on Leon, who has no MP to speak of. So the enemy we're looking for is the Mega Parasite, which hopefully should spawn for us in a moment. And speak of the devil. So we've fought similar enemies to these. I believe they were just called parasites before. Status ailments and can steal our mana, but relatively weak enemies to be fair. We managed to go before they even take an action, so we're all good here. A couple more enemies we can potentially be looking for, and that we have previously seen in these areas. So there's stuff like the Pit Fiend as well. The Killer Mantises are here. There is definitely an enemy we're looking for which spawn here called the King Mantis, because we definitely need that one before we go into the Jade Passage, because that is not one that spawns in there. And I believe you encounter it only in this area. So Great Malboro is another one for this area. Again, Malboros are scary, try and focus them down immediately. But thankfully Firion and Guy can each take one out themselves. Firion purely because of the Blood Sword, and Guy's got enough damage now between his weapons. We're all good. So the parasites you've already seen. Keep running around for a little bit. Yeah, the one we're looking for is the Killer Mantis. Pit Fiends we've seen before as well, but I'll show them off again. As you can see, the Blood Sword is just a ridiculous weapon at this point in the game. I mean, thank God they didn't give it to you any earlier, because it would be the only thing you use. Again, like as I mentioned in previous parts as well, if you would prefer me to keep all of the encounters in, I will do so, or if you're happy with me cutting out the ones that we've previously seen, I can continue the way that we're doing it now. So this is the Mantis King, that's what we're looking for. And that is the last overworld enemy that we need, or last missable enemy before we go to the final couple of dungeons. Because once we go into the Jade Passage, there is no return. That is the point that we're stuck at. So, before we go into the Jade Passage, you need to make sure that there are only a maximum of 22 enemies that you have not encountered. I have encountered more than that, so I'm not at 22, but make sure that you yourselves are at 22. There's a lot of bestiary stuff online if you need to find the exact location those enemies spawn, but you should have been able to follow my guide from where I encountered each of them. So, as I said, there's 22, and we're going to go through them all in here bit by bit now, both the ones I have previously encountered and the ones I have not yet encountered. So the lowest one on the list is number 34, and then the whole bottom of the bestiary is going to be full of ones that we're still looking for. So 34 is one I have not yet encountered, so you will get this either in the Jade Passage or where we go after that. There's also 37, 47, both again which we don't have. There is also 62. 64 we do have. That is the Pit Fiend that I've shown that was around here. The same with the Great Malboro. We can find that in this area, and the Salamander. We're also looking for 70, the Ice Lizard. That you may have encountered in Mysidia Tower, but it's unlikely. Hecteyes, you can still be missing. 75 we are. Then it's number 89 which we're missing. 92 which we're missing. 95 we're missing. 119, and then 122 to 128. So as long as you're missing only the ones mentioned there, you can proceed. If you're missing any more, go and get those before you go in here, because otherwise they are missing. So it's worth making a save before you go in here as well, just as a, you know, go back to if anything goes wrong. Yes, down here in the Jade Passage, there's 14 enemies we're looking for, and 11 of them are the enemies that that I've just mentioned. 3 of which we will encounter in chests. So in this first room, head on all the way over to the right to grab the chest over that side. So the White Dragon, there's not a new enemy because we have fought White Dragon in a chest before, but just showing how overpowered the Blood Sword is. There you go, he's gone. So grab this chest here, and then there's going to be a chest in the bottom left of this area as well, to go and pick that up. And then to proceed on, we want the door in the bottom right. Pretty linear room at the moment. White Dragon, not a new enemy. Neither are the Salamanders. But the Abyss Worm is. So, again, because we had it partnered with Malboro, take that out first. But shouldn't be too much of a problem. The Ephirian 15-hit combo followed up by another weapon. Like, he's just going to take out anything other than maybe like the final boss of the game. But that's one of the enemies, the 11 enemies that we're looking for in here. I say one of the. We've met the Hecteyes in here as well, which would have been another one we were looking for. So down the stairs, and we're up to here. So there's going to be there's a chest at the very top, one on the right, and one at the very bottom. So let's make our way around. Let's go and grab the one at the top first. This worm's 2 enemies that we previously encountered. So the ones we're looking for in here are the Blue Dragon, the Chimera Sphinx, the Great Malboro, which you've already encountered, Hecteyes, which you've already encountered, Ice Lizards, which I have already encountered, but you may not, but as you can see, they've just spawned right there. King Behemoths, Mega Parasites, which again we encountered on the overworld, but you may not have, Pit Fiends, similar to the Mega Parasite, Red Dragons, and Salamanders. Salamanders we've encountered before, so still a couple that we're looking for in this location. So that's the second chest, the bottom one. So there's the Chimera Sphinx, and it's probably going to die before it even gets an action. There you go. Open this chest for the Blue Dragon encounter that we're looking for. So we're looking for the King Behemoth and the Red Dragon still, but we will forcefully encounter those in chests. So the Blue Dragon, just completely wail on it and it will go down pretty quickly. Unsurprisingly, surprisingly, you might think it's a water-type dragon, that one, but it is in fact lightning. It will absorb lightning if you try and hit it. It can do a good thunderbolt attack that hits you all. So to proceed on, we want to go through the door in the top right. That bottom right one is just an encounter room. New enemies we're really going to encounter in this dungeon now, because the last 2 we need are in chests. So you can see there's a chest on the far right up that set of stairs, so we're going to want to head there first. And ignore the door, and the waterfall, if you run through the waterfall, will actually damage you. Yep, that fight managed to take Leon down, but again, his stats are so much lower than ours. The joys of getting temporary party members right at the end of the game. So yeah, running across the waterfall there, but you take damage as you walk through. Similar to all the other locations we've been with the ice and fire, it really doesn't do that much damage. So now you want to head up and then all the way down to get to that set of chests, or to get to that chest. We did get the chests in everywhere, you're not missing anything. There's still 9 we're missing in here. I forgot to make sure we checked that before we came in here, but hopefully you were keeping track of that and every location was filled out. So you might want to make a quick save before we open the chest as well, because there is an encounter inside. You always seem to get encounters just before chests. Inside here is the King Behemoth. Probably the most powerful or highest HP enemy we've fought at this point in the game. He's got a grand total of 5,000 and can hit pretty hard with physical attacks. No elemental absorptions or resistances, but the blood sword is going to take him down with ease, because it doesn't matter how much HP they have, the blood sword steals it all away. Again, you can make this playthrough a lot more difficult if you choose not to use the blood sword, but they give it to you. I didn't go out of my way to unlock it. It is a weapon they give you, so I'm going to make use of that. The same with, like, I treat it no differently to Excalibur. It's like one of the best weapons in the game, and they gave it to me. So now we want to head across the waterfall this way and head all the way down. And you may have noticed there's a hat coming out of that, protruding from that waterfall below us. And there is a shopkeep. So this is where you can buy the Flare Tome, Haste, and a bunch of other useful... Well, I say useful magic. A bunch of other magic that we will never cast, because we just don't use magic in this playthrough. But you can teach it to whoever you want, and then we want to proceed to the set of 3 doors on our right and take the one on the far end. The furthest one to the right. Just heal everybody up. Firian's HP definitely increased exponentially this playthrough, unlike everybody else's. He is the main character, and I treated him as such with all the weapons I gave him. He always was the priority. So down here, there is 5 chests you want to get, so you can see the one directly in the middle, and the door at the very top will take us to 3 more, and the other chest in the top right. So let's go and pick up all these. Killer Mantis and Vampire Ladies, still nothing new, but one to watch out for with the Blood Sword, because undead enemies will heal from the Blood Sword instead of take damage. 3 more chests in here. Shield, Holy Lance, and Dragon Armor. It's very good equipment as well. It's a shame that we're at the point in the game where there is no return, because it'd be nice to go and do a bunch of other stuff with this equipment. But alas, that was Final Fantasy II's design. Definitely have a lot to talk about this for this game, and its follow-on from Final Fantasy I soon after this playthrough. So in here, we're going to get another... boss battle, another battle, and this time it's the red dragon, and this one, which is as expected and unlike the blue dragon, is a fire dragon, so do not cast fire on it, it's weak to ice, but Firian should deal with it. 5,000 HP, similar to King Behemoth, which the blood sword just goes, I'll have that, yum. And now the exit on this floor is at the bottom right of the doorway, so go down there when you're ready. Obviously gear up as and when you need with the new equipment that you get from these chests, but they're probably not anything that you overly need. And that's us on 11 chests in this location of the 14 that we need, as well as we've got all of the beastry enemies that we're looking for. There's 11 more which we'll get in the remaining location. Because we've got a bunch of the ones that I've mentioned now. So we should still be missing 34, 47, 62, 89, 95, and then 124 through to 128. And I think all of those, and 5 of those ones, we will forcefully encounter in the next dungeon. So, on this floor, we want to proceed the only way we can go, and head up, and grab the chest that's over here. Green dragon, we fought you ages ago. And another one. Open this chest here. And then proceed around to go and grab the other chest. It's at the very top. Don't go into the door, just an encounter room. And then keep following the route around to go and grab the chest on the far right. But yeah, as I said, I definitely want to do a comparison of this game to Final Fantasy 1 and just the changes, and as it progressed over the first 4 to 6 games per se, because they were definitely different from each other. I know the Pixel Remaster isn't necessarily the best comparison of them all to do, but they're pretty close to the original releases, at least in my opinion. So that's all of the chests in this location now as well. So proceed around and go through the door. Keep going. There's only one way to go in this room. It's going to take us to a nice teleporter when we get there. And this will take us to Castle Pandaemonium. The final dungeon of the game. But no doubt we're going to get 1 or 2 encounters on our way to getting there. Oh look! And Castle Pandaemonium definitely has, I've said that a couple of occasions, but definitely one of the better soundtracks for an area in my opinion. One I really, really enjoy. This is the Castle of Hell, Pandaemonium. Building us up, we're ready to go. So there's 10 chests in here, and then we've got every chest in the game. And there should be only 11 enemies that you're missing now. You should be in line with me. There could be a couple more you were missing, but I believe all of the ones I said this week you've already encountered. You can encounter the ices here. And we're going straight in. Death Rider. Pretty heavily armoured units. But again, Bloodsword will make quick work of them. But they can hit you pretty hard. They're a lot stronger than any of the other similar type of enemies, the Royal Pegasus and enemies we fought, although I think you can encounter those again here. But that's one of the enemies we're looking for. Death Rider is knocked out. Don't have to worry about that one anymore. So there's only really one way you can go at the moment, so just follow that path. These doorways are things you can walk through. Mantis Devil, that's another enemy we're looking for, coming with 2 Death Rider. I've always found it weird how the human enemies in this that work for the work with the monsters, unless he just has complete control over every monster in existence. Yeah, as you can see there, these Death Riders hit very hard and heal off a lot of the damage they do. Or they heal completely for the damage they do. It's just sometimes they do more damage than their max HP. So you might be going through Cure a lot here, so I hope you were stocked up on MP restoration. So now we want to head up the stairs in the very middle. Before encountering 2 Mythril Golems. Very physical resistant. Spells are probably your best way to get through them. I think fire is the best way, but again, Bloodsword makes life easy. Yeah, everybody else here will have a lot of trouble getting through this, but Firion will deal with every remaining enemy in the game. As long as we don't get charmed, we're all good. A charmed Firion is... or confused Firion at this point is a big problem for us. Nothing new there. So yeah, a lot of these entrances will just take you to a dead end. Just re-gear everybody up as we need. We do have ribbons now, which obviously protect us from all status ailments. Not a bad thing to equip on at least a couple of your characters who have who have the like Asuna and Basuna, just to keep the party from getting confused and then taking themselves out. You can get ribbons from those fights, and I believe there's also one in a chest that we can pick up in this location. But yeah, just follow the one way around. We want to head through that door in the very middle. And then we're going to be getting into the big brunt of this location. First things first, just go and grab the chest at the very top. And then just follow the remaining route all the way around to get to the teleport, top left. Nothing new in here, just a lot of encounters, so I'll catch you either when we get a new encounter or I get to the teleport. Ah, Beast Demons, so improved versions of Gotos. You can cast debuff spells you saw with Fog, but nothing too scary. They're low HP, and the fact that our stats are pretty high just means that they're not going to cause us much of a problem unless they get incredibly lucky. So, through the teleporter, now we want to head down and grab that chest that's in the very middle. Head back the way we came, and we want to head up and to the right in order to get to that teleporter in the bottom right. It's a bit of a loose way to get through, but you should be able to see the route we need to take. So we want to head all the way up, past what we came through, and then go right in whatever way you possibly can, and that will take us to the teleporter. I really do wish I just stood around a bit more in this overworld just to get the music to keep playing, rather than all these battle interrupts, because my god, the encounter rate in this game sucks. So, through the teleporter, and we're going to be in a room that has 4 sets of doors. We're going to need to go into all of them. At least I believe it's one. First things first, we'll go to the leftmost one. This will get us 2 chests. So there's a chest in the very middle, and there's going to be a chest at the very top. And you might look at this room and go, there's nowhere we can go. And that's because we need to take a secret door. Devil Wolf is another one of the enemies we're looking for. Upgraded version of the werewolf. I'm not sure if there was another enemy in between that and this, but they should go down with relative ease. So yeah, proceed up. Heading up, we want to go directly through that passageway door up to these stairs, and there's a secret entrance on the left. Now you can follow that way all the way to the top, and there's be another secret exit that will take us into the room with the chest. I'm getting a little bit confused with where the secret door was. I thought it was in the wall, but no, it's the wall pertaining between where we are and the room with the chest at the very top. Through and open, and there we go. But inside this chest is the first of one of the named enemies we're looking for, Zombie Borghen. And again, I completely forget that he's undead, even when he's got the name Zombie in there, so Firion absolutely damages himself. But yeah, Borghen, not really a problem. It's only 2,500 HP. It's probably the easiest one of these fights we can do, but he can cast Flare on us, which could have done a lot of damage. And as I didn't mention, Firion almost took himself out. And that is our Genji gloves, which are very, very good because they protect against a lot of status elements, specifically sleep. But not quite worth it for Firion at the moment. So now we want to proceed down and across to the right. Up. We basically want to go to the room that's in the top right. We can't get to that chest directly to the right of us at the moment. I'll come back to that one. Just follow the way around. And get to this top right room. And there's going to be another secret passageway that we're going through. So walk through here and it takes us into a room with a chest. Thankfully that chest doesn't have any encounters. It does have the Masamune. better than his Excalibur by a bit, so we're just going to get rid of the Rune Axe and just let Guy dual-wield swords. So now we want to go all the way back to the room with the 4 doors and go through the second door. If you have the warp spell, head back in here, and now is the time to use it, otherwise you can just manually walk all the way back. But we're going to be doing that each time we go through one of those doors, so probably best to learn the warp spell. I didn't, but I believe we've picked up tomes of it previously. Might be good if you also did. Hey, learn whatever you want. The lower the magic cost, the better, because we just want to use it a couple of times. But yeah, we'll just take you back to the entrance of this room. So there you go. And now go through the next door. Straight on through. And here you want to head up into this room, and then directly above us now we want to go left, and there's a secret entrance. And that takes us straight to the chest. But be ready for another boss. And this time, it's Tiamat. Double the health of Borghen, and a lot tougher. So this is your first real test. Borghen was the easy one. But again, Blood Sword makes things quite easy. I mean, the rest of our cast can be hitting for around about 1,000 damage per swing anyway, so 5 attacks will take it out, but the Blood Sword just means Therian plus Friend, gone. Does have the ability to poison you, and is resistant to the 3 main elements, fire, ice, and lightning. So just bear that in mind if it does get a couple of turns. But we're done in this room, so run back out or warp if that's easier. And we're going to go into the next door. Not the next door, we're going to go to the door on the far right this time. But yeah, just gear up from the new stuff you got, because we are getting a lot of the best equipment in the game now. Just a shame that you can only use it in this one dungeon. See all the way to the far right, and then through this door. And then we want to go right and all the way to the top. And that will take us to a chest, which is going to have, unsurprisingly, another boss in it. Open it up, and we get, this time, Beelzebub. Can hit quite hard, but does a combination of physical attacks and magical attacks, and resists fire, absorbs fire, resists ice, does nothing. But Blood Sword, easy win. But yeah, physical attacks will take it down quite easily over a couple of turns as well. Now we're done. We're done with this one. But we do get the Genji armor. Basically, each of these chests are giving us a different set of the Genji equipment, should you wish to use them. But the evasion rate on it is atrocious, but it just stops you from being instant death. Not that I think there is that much instant death in this dungeon. So yeah, run or warp out, and then we're going to go through the only doorway we haven't yet been through. Head up. So we want to head up, right, and then up again, and basically where the chest is, we want to be in the room to the right of it, and there's going to be a hidden passageway we can go through. Basically be on the same set of tiles as where the chest is, and there's going to be a secret passageway there. And unsurprisingly, another boss when we open the chest. This one is, again, weak and absorbs no elements, but resists fire, ice, and lightning. And it also has very high level magic that it will hit us with every time, and potentially can, I believe, drain some of our HP as well. But again, the Blood Sword gonna Gonna take it down relatively easily. 7,000 HP, a lot of armor, and a reasonable amount of magic defense. If you want to get through it, magic might be your best way. Otherwise, berserk on a physical attacker to just make them hit a lot harder. So Guy or Fairy in this case would go the best, but unsurprisingly, Bloodsword takes it all. So we don't want to warp straight out of here. There's still more chests to get, and that is another ribbon that we've got. And that one's one we actually get from a chest. So if you want to be surely protected, equip ribbons slowly on all of your party. Your main magic caster should always be priority number 1, and then I like doing Firion as priority number 2, just because he is the damage dealer with the Bloodsword at this point. So always having control of him is very important. So now go all the way to the left, and the secret passageway up here. And now we want to head down, and we're going to get to the teleporter. Which there's another secret entranceway to get to it. Or we just take the actual way round. But there is a secret entrance to the top right of the teleporter room. Right through there. So now we're through the teleporter, and we're up here. Enemies left, there's only 2, which I think you can probably guess. One is the Emperor, and one is the secret boss of this game. Similar to Warmech in Final Fantasy 1. So we're going to go and see if we can't encounter him. So proceed on and around, and take a step through the teleporter. Go and grab the chest that's directly in the middle here. And this is chest 8, so there's going to be 2 more chests for us to go and grab. And we're done with the chests. So 2 enemies, 2 chests. We're at the very, very end game now. We're almost done with everything. But yes, you can see those crystal pillars on the map in the top right. Or those pillars. That's where we're going to be looking for the missing enemy. I believe it's more likely to spawn there than not. I've seen a lot of arguing information online, and just to make it easy on myself, I decided to run along these just to see if it would happen. So we're going to be running back and forth along here for a while until I encounter the enemy, so I'm going to join you back when I do encounter it. As you can see, this does play the boss music in this radio encounter, and the Iron Giant is the enemy that we're looking for. One of the toughest enemies in the game, massive resistances. As you can see there, we're barely scratching it. Until Firion hits it. But yeah, this took me probably about half an hour running back and forth to find. It's got like a 1% encounter rate. And it can drop any and all of the Genji armor. It can also drop Excalibur, so it's the only other way to get duplicate Excaliburs, and it resists like the majority of elements. But yeah, we're done. So it's just the final boss to go and the remaining 2 chests. So head on to the teleporter. And then this room is where the last 2 chests are. So one in the top left and one in the bottom right. We're going to get numerous encounters on the way, I'm sure of it. I do, with the benefit of hindsight, I do think I probably should have used Encounter None a lot more, but it was meant to be part of the game, so why not? Realised I hadn't actually checked what Hellfire does, but I believe it's just an item to do some fire damage to an enemy. And then, as I said, next chest on the top left. Definitely don't want to go through the remaining purple pad, because as you go up each pad, you can't go back. So there you go, that's all 234 chests, so I hope you've obtained all of those. And you should be in line with me, every area is complete. So now go to the last teleporter on this floor. I see the other teleport on this floor. Now we're in a big square room with lots of pillars, and as you saw there by opening up the map, the way we want to go is bottom left, which will be another teleporter. Now we're in the very final room. Making a save just in case. Not that I think there should be a problem. Head directly north. Get to the final encounter. And of course we get a random bloody encounter beforehand. Man, that always happens. Yep, walk on up and interact with the Emperor. And pay a note to what he looks like here. You have braved the bowels of hell to reach me. But the hand of man which deals in false justice and forsaken love can never hope to defeat the Lord Master of Hell. Who's that? And this is apparently what he looks like in the battle. So those are two completely different people. Emperor stats, I don't think have ever properly been revealed. He's got about 10 to 15,000 HP. But the Blood Sword, again, trivializes this battle. He's obviously got more than 10,000 based on that hit. If you don't use the Blood Sword, haste, blink, and making sure everybody keeps healed up because he does a lot of powerful magic like Flare, Starfall does multi-hit on everybody, and he's got insane resistances, but the Blood Sword ignores all of those resistances, so down he goes. In 2 quick rounds of attacks, we've taken down the big bad. He is a very, very slow death animation. But now we're just going to be absolutely beset by cutscenes. Unbelievable. Defeated by insects like you. Not once, but twice. Yep, we're just that good. I hope you fully remember it when you actually stay in hell this time. Who are you? I'm still curious how he came back from hell. I know there's like a side story thing where you get Scott, Minwoo, Joseph and that to appear in, but it's not in the Pix remaster. And it's done. Let's go home. It's finally over, isn't it? Indeed it is. We've defeated the Emperor twice. Surely he won't come back for a 3rd time. It was a long struggle, but with the Emperor gone, we've nothing left to fear. Thank you. With all my heart, I thank you. With the combined strength of Kashuan and Finn, we will rebuild the kingdom anew. Aren't you 2 separate kingdoms? Together, Princess, we will create a kingdom even fairer than old. Though once a coward, I stand here now a new man. I have you all to thank for that. You have my deepest gratitude. I'm sure Scott is smiling down on me from above. Look at you. Do you realise what you've done? Who am I supposed to steal from with the Empire gone? I guess I've stopped stealing from you. Watch your backs. Sorry, Paul. You sure showed him, Firion. You're every bit the bloke I pegged you for. If you ever feel like trying your hand at pirating. What? That not sit well with you, Maria? Looks like the next battle's already begun. Ah, they're competing for Firion. Or she just hates pirates, one of the two. You did it. I'm sure my dad's happy for you too. I'm going to be working here, serving the princess. I just want to do whatever I can to help out. Oh, look, Joseph makes appearance. Oh, I miss him the most. We must now dedicate ourselves to the task of restoring what was lost. Farewell. Words cannot express my gratitude to you. Oh, we're just being ditched. Okay. Sure, we're staying here now. War finally over? You said it, guy. Yes. We can all live in peace again together. Right, Leon? There can be no going back, not for all of us. But why? Don't go. Firion, stop him. Maria, Leon is right. We can't. Leon, we will meet again. It's Minwoo, Sid, Ricard, Joseph. They get to make a brief appearance for us at the end. Well, we should be going on to... This is only the beginning. And then I don't think they ever appear again, except in Dissidia. Their long struggle was finally at an end. The Emperor, Pandaemonium, the monsters plaguing the world, all vanished without a trace. Now it's just war between humans themselves. Peace had returned once more. The wounds of the war would mend, and the memory of those bitter days would fade. But one thing would never be forgotten. That a band of young heroes once saved the world. I didn't even say their names. Boo! Statues put up in our honour. But yeah, that's Final Fantasy II. Finished. I hope you were able to enjoy that playthrough, whether you were playing along with me or just watching. And it was easy enough to follow. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the ride, and I managed to cover everything that was needed quite well. I've got some strong opinions on this game, but the playthrough was enjoyable. I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than I remember Final Fantasy II being. It's definitely still not a high up one in my list of games, but seeing how this came after Final Fantasy 1, it's definitely a fun one. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this, and hope you'll join me again when I get round to Final Fantasy 3 shortly. But in that case, goodbye.